Hello, this is the Monto Centrist here with I guess a different kind of video about this documentary series called Everything's Gonna Be All White. You haven't seen this or heard about it? It's probably the most blatant racist thing I have ever seen on YouTube in quite some time. And you know what? It's still up. The trailer in the first episode is somehow not flagged for hate speech or not taken down for hate speech because anything that was said in the trailer or the episode and you switch the races to black, Asian, Mexican, whatever, Native American, it would have been taken down for hate speech. Bottom line. And they said the most fucked up things in the documentary, the first episode. I watched it. I probably shouldn't have. I was hoping they'd give somewhat of a, you know, reasonable arguments, but there were none. Like Trump was brought up way too much fucking goddamn time, and then also the Capitol riots. No mentions of the BLM riots. No, 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 no. Can't mention that. Just when white people try to, I guess, storm the Capitol, that they're taking over the government, even though Biden said you need nukes and F-16s to take over the government. These people were unarmed, so if a few thousand people can take over, unarmed people can take over the government, we have a lot more problems on our hands than I want to fucking know about, okay? Um, they said some just blatantly racist shit in here. Like, I don't understand how, like, YouTube does not take this shit down for hate speech. I'm just baffled because they had this one guy say if you had an American flag in your, if you could see the American flag in your yard or just wherever, that he just assumed that you're a white supremacist. Even though it could be black, or the very race that anybody that was on the show was, like. And they basically blame everything on white people, like slavery, just white people, like everything. Like what the fuck is like? And people, one guy said, is white. We should feel responsible for slavery, even though there's immigrants that have nothing to do with that. If you're white, you benefited somehow from that, even though you moved here and had nothing to do with it, like way after, it was gone, even after, Jim Crow laws were abolished and gone. Somehow you have brought down, the people of color in some way, in some fashion, even though your family moved here after all that was gone. And you're benefiting because you are just white. It's mind-boggling. Like it's hateful. Like I don't think they should be censored. I think these kind of things shouldn't be taken down, but by YouTube. But just if it was the opposite way around, if they said this about black people or Asians, as I said previously, it would have been taken down by YouTube. So there's definitely a huge ass double standard on YouTube's part here. It is so fucked up. They asked who was name a famous white, just not anybody, just white famous, just person in the past, and they made everyone look stupid. That's the ironic ironic thing about it. They couldn't even name George Washington. They couldn't even name Abraham Lincoln, the fucking president that you know freed the slaves. They couldn't name him. I think the question was name a famous white person in history. They couldn't name one person. Imagine if they asked us to name one famous black person in history, and they couldn't think of Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or any of the. the black people in history. It would just look so fucking bad. It's like they look so fucking stupid. They made them look stupid. It was like the most ironic fucking thing ever. Like you couldn't name fucking one person, and they asked what annoys you about white people. Yes, they asked that fucking question. Like I don't. It's not funny and like haha. It's like so fucking blatantly just fucked up. I just can't help but fucking laugh at how ridiculous the shit was on here. It was just blatant, just hateful fucking content. It's so divisive. It's so like I don't understand who thought this shit was an okay thing to do. It has almost 3 million views and it has 86,000 dislikes. It is hated for a good reason. And like the comment section before they turned off the comments, because they turned off the comments because everyone and their mother was saying how blatantly fucking fucked up this was and how racist it was. They just couldn't fucking handle the backlash, so they had to turn off the damn freaking comment section. That just tells you something. Like maybe you fucked up. Like all this whole thing had to be a process. Like they had to pay for it, had to get these people on here and say the probably most racist. I just don't understand how people think it's okay to be racist against a white person or don't think you can be. When this fucking documentary is like the very fucking proof, all of the proof you fucking need. And the first episode premiere barely has any views. It has 20,000, 22,000 views, and it's been up for like 4 days. Has like almost 6,000 dislikes. And just reading from the description, what does it mean to be American during a time of heightened xenophobia, anger, and chaos? To fight to be a nation of immigrants, this question has become more compelling than ever. A deep dive into America's complicated past and present, the voices experience of people of color. Was that never fucking happened? It's just bashed on fucking white people. Three bar, 3-part documentary series from Dr. Exclusive Shaska Jenkins, which I looked him up. It's like he hasn't done anything really much, so I guess take that grain of salt. Marries humor with history. As it unapologetically confronts many facets of racism, exploitation, and discrimination have contributed in any information. What they don't even present any facts. Like zero fucking facts are presented in here. I mean, if they just said brought up some facts, like actual fucking facts, instead of just blatant statements, they might have had something. But no, they didn't bring up anything like that. They didn't bring up any factual exploitation or discrimination, which they probably could have, or at least very presented some kind of fucking data. No, they didn't do that. It's just a half-assed attempt at making white people look as bad as ever by bringing up Trump and the fucking Capitol riot. I didn't agree with that fucking riot. I don't agree with the BML protests. They didn't mention those BML protests one goddamn time. The looting, the burning. That was, I guess, perfectly okay. I just don't want to fucking stand it. And it continues in a nation that mostly sticks to one side of America's history, which is blatantly fucking false. The Migrant series confronts the controversial issues that stain our collective red, white, and blue parts. Just by blatantly saying white people are white supremacists. Congratulations. You really are tackling the fucking issue at hand here. Don't watch it. I think YouTube probably should bring it down. Like, I don't think they should be censored anyway, but like, if this was like said about any other race who have been taken down for hate speech. Bottom line, there's no fucking if, ands, or buts. So there's this huge fucking thing about YouTube's policy. If they were 100% on the policy, they would take this shit down. Bottom line, I don't think they should be put taken down because I think that's freedom of speech. But YouTube is an individual company. I don't think you have a right to be outraged if it's taken down. But like their policies are this proves their policies are bullshit. It's just the most racist thing I've ever seen. Thank you for listening. Right, comment, subscribe.